Ultimately, I think it was a good decision by them to not trade him, and not because I think Phoenix needs to go for it. I'll just start by saying this, that I think the Suns are in big trouble this season. They have a really tough remaining schedule. They are at 500 right now. And as of right now, I would not pick them to make the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if they missed the play-in altogether. They are just not a good basketball team this year. But the reason I think that they shouldn't have traded Durant is because I think that offers will be better in the offseason. The net would be a lot wider for casting good offers and number of suitors. I know Golden State was interested. Minnesota apparently was interested. The Grizzlies were interested. Miami was interested, but none of those teams really scream like great fit in terms of getting return back to Phoenix. And I think the two teams that make the most sense to trade Durant to are Houston and Oklahoma City, because they both have a ton of picks. Houston, they have Phoenix's pick, so those are super valuable to the Suns, and they've got a lot of young guys that could be intriguing to Phoenix. But I don't think either of those teams are interested right now, because they have been very successful this season and they might want to ride out what they've got. But the point is, that might change in the offseason. What happens if Oklahoma City fizzles out in the conference finals and falls short for the second year in a row, and Jalen Williams doesn't look up to snuff to be the second option that this team desperately needs? Then they might be much more inclined to say, hey, why don't we just go out and get a certified bucket getter, 25 point per game player in Kevin Durant? What if Houston loses first round after being one of the best teams in the West all season long to a more experienced, more star heavy team? They might be way more inclined to be like, okay, we got to add somebody here that is like the guy, the alpha, the offensive go-to scorer that we desperately need. And Durant would fit that bill. So I just think those teams, if they fall short, they might be more willing to get into those discussions. So to me, I think waiting until the offseason was smart. I would imagine that Durant probably does get traded in the offseason. And I think that's probably the right move, because Bradley Beal's basically holding this team hostage. If they can't move him, it feels like Durant is the logical next option. I still think he'd get a lot of value on the open market. He's still a top 10 player. He's still a 27 point per game scorer on 50, 40, 80 shooting. Like, the guy's still ridiculously good, and they could get a pretty good haul. They're not going to get what they gave out for him, but if you're going to be 500, at least be young and fun. You know what I mean? Don't be old and difficult to watch, which honestly is what they are right now.